What's going on, penny boys and gals? Everyone watching from home, not live. We're just waiting for everybody to join us. Just give us one moment. What's going on, Boosted? Boosted is the first one into the stream from our Pbu Premium, one of our Pbu Premium members, also in Pbu. I'm sorry, Penny Boys Premium member, also in Pbu. Actually, you're a Penny Boys Pro member. Even step above that. Just gonna drop the link into the Discord so everyone can join us. Boosted is the early bird. Appreciate that, Boosted. Yeah, no rush on that at all. You're actually awesome for doing that for us. Wait for a couple more people to join. Go ahead and start the stream. Today we'll be going over quizzes 1 through 4, and we'll also be going over this new spreadsheet. I know we had one in our Penny Boys University courses. We also have another one coming out. I'm going to drop the link in our Penny Boys class area. What's up, Mr. Dan C? Boosted and Dan C, two PBU OGs. Same with JWAG. What's going on, JWAG? What's going on, Dana? Also a member of Pbu. I'm going to give everyone just 10 more seconds, then we'll start the stream. Alright, let's get this started. What's going on, penny boys and gals? It's your boy, What the Duck here, and it is time for another Pbu live stream. So this one's a little bit different. We don't really have any homework to go over. We don't really have, any quizzes to, to be giving you guys anymore, because next up is our test. So all the quizzes are done. Everyone who has completed them, they have been graded. Right now, we are waiting until Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. That is when the bonus quiz, or the, I guess you can call it the makeup quiz, is due. For those of you who did not quite pass Pbu with the quizzes, you have one last chance to pass this makeup quiz, and all the information for that is in the Pbu class area. I just want to make sure that everyone who did put time into Pbu gets a chance to pass, but at the same time, I want to make sure it's fair, make sure that everyone who actually put the time into Pbu and got all the information are the ones going into our Pbu Advanced, Pbu Alumni, Pbu Graduates, whatever you want to call them. The whole goal is to have a chat area where it's, everyone who knows what they're talking about from Pbu, so that we can start learning together and really growing in that more advanced area as traders, where whereas the Pbu chat will have we'll have the same Pbu chat, but that'll be more so for the new people asking questions. Our chat, the Pbu Alumni chat, will be more so just for growing, learning together, because honestly the best way to learn is just by bouncing ideas off of other traders, which is why it's so great to have this group and have all of you in Pbu. But let's go ahead. Today we're gonna go over the spreadsheet. It's a new spreadsheet. I know I gave you one in the Pbu trading strategies week, but we have a new note-taking sheet, watch list spreadsheet, and all that stuff. And I'll give you a link to a blank version as well. I'm just gonna go over how to use it. And we'll be going over the first 4 quizzes, and then next stream we'll be going over the rest of the quizzes and be going over a special indicator, one that we haven't gone over already in Pbu. Kind of like a Pbu advanced, pre-advanced class, I guess, if you want to call it, a little teaser of what we'll be getting into. In the future, what's up, F. Torres? JWAG's liking the time. 3 p.m. for you is 8 p.m. Yeah, it must be late on the 9:30 streams or all the other nighttime streams. Yeah, we'll try to mix in some afternoon streams into Pbu Advanced. But let's go ahead. Let me pull up. There it is. So this is all the stuff that we're going to be going over today in today's stream. I keep saying tonight because I'm used to doing this at 9:30 p.m. But right now it is 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. So we're going to be going over all the stuff from quizzes 1 through 4. So first of all, we had the Pbu Learning Center versus the Pbu class area versus the updates from the guides. So I'm not going to actually go into the quizzes because there are some, I don't want people who aren't already passed the quizzes. I don't want people to just be able to watch this video back and, get an A on all the quizzes for the next semester. So I won't actually be showing you any of the actual questions, but we'll be going over some of the stuff that you guys seem to, struggle on, like more than 70% of the class maybe got wrong. So one of that was the Pbu Learning Center versus the Pbu class area. A lot of people kind of were confused about that. So just so you know, we have our Pbu trading class area right here. This is where you can find all the courses, all of the 3-month trading program. It has every single class. It has all the live streams, all the quizzes. That's where you find all that in the Pbu class area. And so you just click, let's say you want to do the FinViz class. You click the class, you open it up, you get your class video. You can open that up, and then you have a video that you can watch. It's around usually 15 minutes per video. You got your homework, and then you have the handout, which kind of gives you a little overview of the class. That is the Pbu class area. Pbu Learning Center, however, is a little bit different. What did I just do? Pbu Learning Center is a little bit different because it is an area where you just have a bunch of tips and tricks, a bunch of different ideas. This is a bunch of great stuff that new traders, should have in their arsenal. So we have stuff like stock trading lingo, where you can find 8,000 stock trading terms. We have some videos from Big Quench going over support and resistance. We have some links that you can use, how to use a Webull Cash account, and just other great information all in here, reverse splits, some candle patterns, intraday patterns, how stop limits work, the whole 9 yards, all that kind of stuff. I definitely would recommend searching through if you haven't already. And just, it might take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes just to read through all this stuff. But a lot of it is some great stuff, like how to set a stop limit order and all that great stuff, all in the Pbu Learning Center. Update from the guides, really quick, I'll just go over. It's just where Pookie's Revenge, myself, Matster, and all the other Pbu guides kind of post updates on the plays that they're following, on the trades that they're taking. So like, for instance, today I took WATT. I took it last night, sold it today, so I showed you that. Up here I showed you the watch list, all my notes and stuff. And I also tell y'all when I'm getting into different trades. So if you do in theory want to follow along, you can also kind of follow along. And this is kind of what it's for, so you can kind of see, oh, these are what some of the guides are getting into. These are when they're getting into, when they're making buys and all that. I update with all my buys as well. Pookie's Revenge does a really good job updating with his spreadsheet, as well as Matster gives really great technical analysis and updates as far as charting goes. Definitely a good place to go to. So that is that. What's going on? Lucum's live, and Lawrence. And the final is going to be, we're going to be giving it out on this Thursday after the live stream. We'll be going over all the quiz grades, going over the top 30 grades, or top 30 Pbu quiz takers, and then we will be giving out the quiz, or the test, I'm sorry, and that will be due in a week from then. Next up is Stock Bot versus Alert Info. So, really quickly, I'm going to go over that. Alert Info. I'm sorry, the Alert Bot is right here. This goes over alerts, and you can just click the pin messages to see how that works. Whereas the Stock Bot, this goes over just stocks in general. You can click the pin messages to see all the different commands. This will give you just stocks in general, technical analysis, charts, whatever you might want, bios for the stocks. That's just stocks in general. The Alert Info Bot tracks the alerts. So that's the big difference between those two. That was another question that some people seem to struggle on. We had Alert info. Some people were a little confused about alert info. Our alert info channel is for people who work 9 to 5 jobs. It's for people who, maybe get 10 seconds to sneak at their phone, sneak a quick peek at their phone, and need, just like while they're at work, maybe in the restroom, they want to be able to see what's going on with the stocks, and you don't want to have to search through endless chatter about it, and that's why we have stock talk. We can just talk about stuff. We have unsupervised. We can just chat about anything. But alert info is for just putting, hey, this alert is just ran 20%. Hey, this alert just dropped. This alert had news. It's just quick to the point information. If someone already posted it, don't post it again. Alert info is for people working 9 to 5. So just be respectful to those members, and just things that need to go in there is basically what we're looking for as far as alert info goes. Searching alerts, a lot of people struggled as far as that question goes. So what you can do, the best thing you can do is go scroll down to trading information area and go to how to find alert info. And this will show you how to search everything. So you have your from Big Quench, and I'll really quickly just go over it as well. If you just click this, it'll give you all the different things you can search. You can search a specific user. So you can say from Big Quench. It'll show you all the messages that Big Quench posted. You can do different dates. You can also do in, so you can do in alert info and see all the posts in alert info, or you can combine them. So for instance, you can do from Big Quench. Oh, right, mine's not working right now. I forgot about that. But basically, you do from Big Quench, and you would search Big Quench, and you would click Big Quench, and then you can do in, and you would do alert info, so like that. So alert info or alert bot, whatever, and then you can just type in a ticker, and that's how you would search that. So for instance, if you said from Big Quench in alert info, GNUS, it'll show you everything about GNUS that Big Quench posted in the alert info channel. And that's how that works. So definitely, that was one that a lot of people got wrong. So definitely check out that how to find alert info channel, as well as our first, I think it was like our first 2 classes go over that, if you're still a little bit confused as far as searching alerts go. Our bankroll strategy. So what we recommend is around 10 to 15% per play. 10% is like our normal. 15% is if you're feeling really, really good about the play. 5% is if you're kind of unsure about yourself. But we do, 10% is that median, that middle ground is what we recommend per play. What I mean by that is 10% of your portfolio. If you have $1,000, that means $100 per play. The reason for that is you don't want to go all in on one play, because if that one play goes down a lot, your whole portfolio goes down with it, and that's really hard to recover. If you're only in 10% into each play and one play goes down, 3 plays go up, you're actually looking pretty good. Or even if 2 plays go down, it's not the end of the world. So the whole reason for that is just to diversify your portfolio as far as your bankroll strategy goes. And bankroll strategy we also say to make sure to keep around 20 to 30% of your portfolio in cash. So if you have $1,000 portfolio, that's 20 to 30% would be $200, $300 in cash. The reason that we recommend this, and remember these are recommendations, we're not telling you what to do. The reason why we recommend this is because we in stock trading, you never know what can happen. For instance, like Apple or Tesla can do those forward splits that they did. Maybe you want to get into that, or maybe you're in a stock and it had something big happen, it had a big drop, but you're really confident, or there's a play that you just really want to get into. If you have all your money in stocks, you can't get into that play, and you can lose out on a real big play because you're in a bunch of swing plays that might not be moving, but you don't want to get out of them yet because you're not done with them. So that's why you want around 20 to 30% in cash. That's very important. Setting stop loss when you're in like 100%, 50%, 75%. That's the next topic we'll go over is stop losses. So, one of the questions on the quizzes were, when do you set your stop loss and what percentage? 5%, 6%, 8%, whatever percent. The correct answer is whatever works for your plan. No one can tell you when to set your stop loss, period. That's not what we're here for. We're not here to tell you how to trade. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to teach you how to trade and teach you how to become your own trader. And part of that is having a plan, which we'll go over later, especially in the next stream. But a big part of that is trading off of your plan. And with stop losses, maybe for me, I set my stop loss when I'm in. For me personally, what I do is I set my stop loss when I'm in 100% into a play, and I set it at around 10% per play, 7% if I'm not feeling too good about the play. I give myself a pretty decent rope. It's worked for me in the past. I practice with it. I tried it out a bunch of times. This is how I like to trade. So I wait until I'm in 100% of the stock, meaning let's just say I want to put $100 into the stock. I make a $20 buy, a $20 buy, whatever, until I'm in $100, 100%. That's when I put my stop loss. And I do it around 10%, usually 10%. Some people might do 5% stop losses. Some people might wait until they're in, 50% to set their stop loss. It's really up to you. There are disadvantages and advantages to each. Like if you set your stop loss right away, you're probably gonna get stopped out of a lot of plays. You might not lose as much money per play, but those plays add up. Whereas if you wait until you're 100% every time, have a big stop loss, kind of like what I do, you are putting yourself up to some risk if you are picking the wrong plays or bad plays, or going in too fast and just not letting yourself get that nice average and then stopping out too quickly. So it really depends on what kind of trader you are. If you're kind of impatient, if you're patient, depending on how you are when you're trading, kind of depends on what your stop loss should be. How long a leash you should give yourself. If you tend to get into plays really fast, you give yourself a pretty long leash. You're probably gonna, because you're in too fast, the stock keeps going down. You probably will end up stopping out and having a big loss. If you're patient, get in this play slowly. Give yourself a long leash. Because you got in slowly, there's not much room for the stock to go down. Hopefully, if you did the right due diligence, and in that case, with that long leash, you're going in slow. It might not be a bad idea to do that. So it's really based off of you. Definitely check out the classes if you haven't already. We have the trading psychology classes going over all that kind of stuff. All the different emotions and different types of traders that and how they kind of react to, or what might work for them, what might not work for them, because a lot of that stuff people just don't think about. Also, next up is trading emotions. It's important to know that we are not trying to get rid of our emotions. We are human. We're not robots. We're not aliens. We cannot get rid of our emotions. If you are impatient, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't trade. If you have an emotion, it doesn't mean you can't trade. It doesn't mean you shouldn't trade. It just means that you should work on it. One of the questions was, if you're impatient, you shouldn't trade stocks. That's totally not true. No, if you're impatient, you can still trade stocks, but you might have a longer road ahead of you than some other people that might be patient. Emotions are just part of trading. Emotions are just part of life. It's just part of being human. So it's, getting rid of our emotions is not what we're striving to do. What we're trying to do is, because we're not perfect, we're trying to be aware of our emotions. We're trying to admit our emotions, admit that we have emotions, and kind of be aware of what emotions we personally, individually have, and then learn from them, and then from there kind of try to manage them. It's like when you have back pain. Some people have back pain all their life, or diabetes, for instance. If you have diabetes, you're not gonna try to get rid of it. You're gonna have to manage it. You have high blood sugar. You're trying to manage it. The same thing goes with these emotions. And Lucum's Live says the emotions portion of PBU may potentially be the most important, in my opinion. I agree 125%. I think that the trading psychology 2 weeks are the most important in PBU. Because you can know charts all you want, but if you're not aware of your emotions, then you might end up hitting some FOMO and making bad trades, even though you know the charts. You might not listen to your knowledge because you have FOMO or you have emotions. And it's just another thing. It's just a thing that a lot of people just don't go over. So it's kind of like that. Something I like that we go over in PBU, because a lot of people just don't go over it on in YouTube or whatever whatever you listen to for trading. That's why I stress it so much. But so if you have a certain emotion, it doesn't mean you can't trade. It's like if you're out of shape, it doesn't mean you can't play a sport. It just means that you're going to have to get in shape. You have to learn. You're going to have to practice. And the same goes for stock trading. If you're impatient, it doesn't mean you can't trade. You just have to learn. You're going to have to practice. You have to start maybe note taking, kind of figuring out what where you are impatient, and how you can try to work with or try to manage that. That being said, it's also important to know, and I'm going to skip ahead actually from trading emotions. I'm going to skip right to vast versus fast thinker, because this goes hand in hand. It's also important to know if you are a vast or a fast thinker. Vast being someone whose patient sees the big picture, kind of wants to take in all the information before making a decision. Whereas a fast thinker, they see everything kind of quickly all at once, and they're able to make split-second decisions. A vast thinker, someone who might be really good at chess, maybe really good at, their job might be like those 3, 4, 5, 6 month projects that, takes a lot of planning. A fast thinker might be really good at video games. You know, there's first person shooters when you're talking to people. You have to see your health. You have to look at your shields. You have to look at the map. You know, a lot of things are going on at once, but you're able to take it all in. You might be a fast thinker. So, you know, when it comes to your emotions, like when it comes to being patient or impatient, it's also important to know what kind of person that you are. Not even trader, just person. And you can do that by kind of thinking about, am I a fast thinker? Am I a fast thinker? Am I patient? Am I impatient? Think about, and we go over this in our psychology classes, think about your cognitive traits, your biographical variables, your personality traits, meaning, so, you know, where you come from, you know, how you react to certain things, you know, in the past, and why, you know, based off of, you know, where you come from or how you're raised or what you've experienced. All that kind of stuff kind of has to do with, or has a lot to do with your emotions, and your emotions has a lot to do with trading. So, you know, maybe, you know, whatever happened in your past, maybe because of that, you give up on things easily. So maybe long-term trading isn't for you. Maybe you should just do day trading. You know, you try to learn day trading. You know, whatever it may be, whatever your emotions or your past may be, it molded you into the person you are. And we, you know, and you can't, you know, like I said, we're not robots. You can't just become the perfect trader overnight. You have to, you know, us individually realize I am this person, and then use that to your advantage. You know, because, you know, some things that might be negative, you know, just because being impatient might not be a good thing for a swing trader. It might actually be a great thing for a day trader, because, you know, they're able to pull the trigger when they have to. So it's, you know, it's like using your using your skill set to your advantage. But first of all, you need to be aware of your skill set and kind of take that evaluation that we do in PBU trading psychology classes. So really quick, I'm going to go back to FOMO and loss aversion. So our brains, this is a thing that you guys should definitely listen to as far as the test goes. This might be on the test possibly, but our brains react 2.5 times greater to loss than to gain, meaning that we, you know, us as humans, we just react greater to loss than we do gain. So, you know, you lose someone, you know, our reaction is a lot greater than if you meet somebody that you know for the first time. Or if you're walking down the street, you find $20, that's great, but you're walking down the street and you check your pocket and you realize, oh man, I lost $20. It fell out somewhere. You're gonna feel 2.5 times greater or more emotion towards losing the $20 than you would towards when you found the $20. It's just how beings are. And loss aversion is the unwillingness to accept loss, because we don't like losing as humans. We react so greatly to it. Loss aversion is also another emotion that we have, or it's just like a fact that, you know, humans have in general, and that's the unwillingness to accept loss. So what that means is, you know, in trading, let's just say you're down 10%. You know, you're down $80. Let's just say you're down $80. That's your stop loss. But you're like, nah, you know, I don't want to lose. You know, it'll come back, because you don't want to accept the loss. So guess what? It doesn't come back. You don't have a stop loss. It goes down more. Now you're down to $120. You're like, oh, well, I didn't want to lose. I don't want to lose $120. I wasn't okay with even losing $80, and I'm definitely not okay with losing $120. Next thing you know, a couple weeks go by. Now you're down $300, and now you're like, all right, well, now I'm stuck with this bag until God knows when. Maybe you're adding to this bag because of FOMO, or because of other emotions due to having this big bag in your account. Because having that big red bag in your account, not only does it kind of hinder you from trading because all that money is stuck in that bag, but it also kind of helps bring out those emotions, those bad, negative emotions, because you're looking at red every day. You're looking at that $300 bag go to 400, 500. You start, maybe you start making FOMO trades, you start chasing, or whatever it may be. So it's important, all that stuff, it kind of goes hand in hand and links together. It's important to set your stop losses, have your plan, because once you break that plan, you start getting emotional. You get that loss aversion, unwilling to accept a loss, and then next thing you know, you're a bag holder because of FOMO, which is fear of missing out, and because of the loss aversion, and then you have this big bag, and now you're making even worse trades because of this bag just having it there. It's like having someone that you don't like in the room. Maybe you're going to get kind of antsy, or get snappy because of it. This is how emotions work. If there's something negative always looking at you, staring at you all the time, you're going to start making negative decisions. So bag holding isn't just affecting that one bag; it's affecting all of your trading. So that's why we teach all this stuff, because one mistake leads to another, and if you don't know how to manage those mistakes and manage all this stuff that we go over, those mistakes are going to turn to big mistakes and even bigger mistakes, and next thing you know, you're down like 80% of your account. And at that point, it's so hard to make it back. To make that money back at that point. The goal is to learn, lose a little bit while we're learning, and then it's easy to make that up once we know what we're doing. And that's why we stress paper trading. That's why we stress joining PBU early on, and getting all these classes. Loaded gun. That was another thing that we went over in PBU that some people struggle with. When I say that trading is like walking around with a loaded gun, what I mean by that is, all right, so it used to be when you traded, let's say you see a stock, you hear about a stock that you want. You used to have to call your broker. There's a fee. There's this. There's that. You used to have to call someone in Wall Street, and it took a big ordeal. You couldn't. Some 18-year-old couldn't just start trading, easily, like in their PJs. They couldn't, But here nowadays you can, and not only that, it's free and it's easy, and there's really there's not that much of a minimum as far as your what you can trade with goes. So some 18-year-old could, in theory, not knowing what they're doing as far as trading goes, they could join Webull, put $1,000 in, lose that $1,000. They have no idea what they're doing, and then they get FOMO or whatever. They start getting those emotions, and they next thing you know, they can put their life savings in, make a few clicks of a button, and then there goes their life savings. You can lose $10,000 with a quick click of a button if you're not careful. You can lose a lot of money just with a click of a button. That's why it's like walking around with a loaded gun. You got to be careful with that. With your account. With your with that mouse or whatever. And I'm not saying accident. I'm not saying accidentally you're gonna click. I'm talking about it's like when a police officer is walking around. Maybe they're feeling emotional. Maybe they're scared. They're skittish. Or whatever it might be. And a loud noise happens. They turn. They shoot really quick. Maybe they hit a civilian. They didn't. Who knows? If you're going. You're trading emotionally. Something bad might happen the same exact way, because it's just so easy to. With a gun, this is so easy to hurt somebody. You just click, this is your finger, and then bam, someone could die. With trading, it's just a click of a finger and a bad decision, and next thing you know, you're down your whole savings. So that's why it's just so important to to be aware that trading A is not easy. B takes patience and time, and C, you're not going to get rich overnight. And I'm never going to, in PBU, not once am I ever going to be like, hey, you follow what we do here in PBU, you listen to me, and I'll make you rich. This ain't one of those, hey, I'll make you rich, kid, kind of schemes. Like, for all I know, even if you follow, you take all the classes, you ace all the quizzes, if it doesn't click, you still might end up losing money after PBU. I'm not going to promise you anything. I'm 99% certain you probably won't, but there's still a chance. Stock trading is still stock trading. It's not. It's not like we're clocking into work and making guaranteed money. It's still a risk. But with what we learn here in PBU, the goal is to be able to grow over time, get better, and because we're, at least here in PBU, our goal is to become traders in the long run. So maybe this might be a 3-year progress until you become really profitable. But then after those 3 years, your gravy, hopefully, ideally, 10 years, maybe 7 years, 5 years, 4 years, 2 years, it could be a couple months for some people. Everyone's different. Everyone learns at different pace, speeds, but it's not easy, and you're not going to get $1 million overnight, even with PBU. You're not going to. I'm not going to. I can't promise you $1,000 a day with PBU. What I can promise you is that if you listen to all the courses, do all the handouts, do all the quizzes and the homework, you'll have a much better understanding as a new trader. If you are a new trader, going out of it than you will going in, and you'll feel. My hope is that you'll feel more confident in the stock market. Because it's one thing losing money when when you're confident about, all right, this stock just didn't work out. It's something losing money because you're like, oh, what the heck's going on? So, but the goal is to become profitable. And as you see in the update from the guides area with my $1,000 account challenge, it is possible. And if you look in the profits areas in general, there's so many people making money with. People who weren't making money in the beginning too, so it is definitely possible. But I digressed. So where was I? So fast versus fast thinker. So yeah, it's very important to know. Loaded guns. So yeah, it's also important to be your own police chief. So police, like I was saying, walking around with a loaded gun, have police walk around with loaded guns. It's also important because you are walking around with a loaded gun and trading. One click, you can lose $1,000 on Webull or Robinhood or whatever, whatever broker you use. It's also important to be your own police chief. And what I mean by that is, all right, so you're the police chief, and I'm talking about in real life. Let's say you're a police chief, and a police officer comes in. They tell you, hey, chief, my wife just died, and when I was on the way to the funeral, I ran over my dog, and then I had like a flat tire, and some dude jumped me. It's like, maybe you should take the day off. Like, maybe you shouldn't walk around with a gun because maybe you're feeling a little bit emotional, you're feeling a certain way. The police chief would say, hey, take the day off, maybe take the week off, whatever, just, go home. Let me give your gun, put your gun away, whatever. The same thing goes with trading. You have to know when to be, we don't have a police chief, obviously, but you have to be able to be your own police chief. And what that means is, let's say you, either A, you make a really bad decision trading, you're down a lot, whatever, whatever may happen. Maybe you made a trade and you sold too early and, went 100% afterwards, or maybe something bad's happening, maybe in your personal life, maybe you got a bad news, or maybe you're hangry. It could be just something as easy as being hungry. There's just whatever the emotion might be. If you think that it can affect your trading, you just got to take a step back and be your own police chief and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm going to take a little break. Maybe I'll put the phone down, go for a walk, do some yoga, drink some tea, maybe make a smoothie, whatever it may be, do a workout, and then go back to trading, because it's important to know when to step away. Because if you trade emotionally, you're going to end up probably losing some money, and this is not what we want to do. So being your own police chief means knowing when you might be walking around with that loaded gun and maybe possibly be in the wrong mindset, where you can actually make a pretty bad decision as far as that goes. All right, so next up is vast versus fast thinker. I skipped ahead to and already went over that. Another thing is, if your plan does not work out after 2 trades, or 3 trades, or 4 trades, or even 7 trades, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to just give up? You're supposed to quit trading, or make a new plan? Or just realize that, hey, that was 5 trades. Who am I kidding? That's not enough. That's enough trades for me to know if this plan works or not. A baseball player, right? They're up at bat. Let's just say they're up at bat 3 times. They strike out once. They fly out another time, and they get out. The 3 outs. 3 bat. He has three at bats. He gets out 3 times in a row. Are you gonna be like, oh, this batter stinks? Like, he's the worst. Like, I don't want to put money on him, or whatever it may be. No, it's 3 at bats. For all you know, he can get a home run the next 7 at bats. Get a hit, get a single the next at bat, a double, whatever it may be. If he gets 7 hits out of 10, so yeah, he missed the first 3. He's batting 700. That's pretty good. Batting 300 is a good thing in baseball. So like it's with the trading, you can't base success off of 3 trades, or off of 2 trades, or 4 trades, and that's what a lot of people get in trouble. They start trading, they get lucky because the first trade they make, they YOLO'd, they had no idea what they're doing, and they made money. Or maybe in the first 3 trades they made money. They're like, oh, this is easy, I can do this. And then the next 7 trades they don't, or the next 20 trades they don't, and they go from batting 1,000 to batting 100. Whereas at the same time, you have a nice plan, you try it out 3 times and it doesn't work out for 3 trades. For all you know, it could be a great plan, but the first 3 trades didn't work out. The next 20 could have. You'd be doing really well. 17 for 20 is not bad as far as trading goes. So give your plan some time to breathe. Give your plan some time to work out. Me personally, I give my plan 20 each time that I tweak my plan. I wait 20 trades before I tweak it again. That's another important thing to know. Another thing really quickly off of being a vast thinker versus a fast thinker, and just trading emotions in general, and just kind of figuring out your cognitive traits, your biographical traits, your personality traits, and all that, and your biographical variables and all that. Just trying to figure out who you are and how that can affect your trading. A really important thing to know is, or another really important reason why that is a reason why that is important, is what I'm trying to say, is because let's just say that you do your personality test, or whatever it might be, in PBU, you go through all the classes, you kind of realize, all right, I'm impatient, I work 9 to 5, this and that, you have all these reasons why you should be a swing trader. And you think to yourself, no wonder I've been day trading this whole time. No wonder I'm not making money. So, being someone who is, really patient, doesn't have time to look at the charts, might not know the charts. If they're day trading, they might not do so well. If they're swing trading, they actually might do very well. So it's kind of like knowing what best suits you and best suits your strengths, because you want to play to your strengths, not to your weaknesses. So like being a vast thinker and day trading would be like being a running back with a great throwing arm. It's like, why would you, if you have an amazing throwing arm, why would you be a running back? So if you're a a vast thinker, you have all the tools to be a swing trader. Why would you, I'm not saying don't day trade, but why wouldn't you focus on what what you in theory should be good at? So, it's like having a great arm. Maybe you should focus on being a quarterback, not a running back. Use your strengths to your advantage. At the same time, let's just say you're an NBA player trying to be a boxer. That's like not being aware of your disadvantages. It's kind of like trying to fight an uphill battle. So, if let's just say that you're a fast thinker, you're super impatient, you trade every day 9 to 5, you don't have a job, like trading is your job, whatever it may be. And, you know the charts, but you're super impatient. And, why would you only swing trade? Maybe you should start day trading. Why would you get into only retirement alerts? Why would you want to do trades that aren't good for people who are impatient? You would, if you're an NBA player, play NBA, maybe not be a boxer. So that's an example of not being aware of your disadvantages and trying to fight that uphill battle. And, being an NBA player who's trying to be a boxer, we all saw how that worked out for Nate Robinson. So don't be like Nate Robinson in trading. He got knocked out by Jake Paul. You'll get knocked out by a bad trade. So do not let that happen to you. All right. So really quickly, I'm going to go over my, spreadsheet. Let's do this really quickly because it's went a little bit longer than I expected, all this reviewing. All right. So this is I'm going to drop the link. I have a blank one, a PBU one, that I'm going to drop a link to that is shareable. You can basically just copy it, like one of these guys, and paste it into your own Google Sheets or Excel, whatever you use. So make sure that I have this on the screen. Yeah. All right. So I will be giving out a blank one in PBU class channel. How it works is you put your budget. So for me, I have a $1,500 budget now. My first plan was for $1,000 budget, but since then I turned that into a $1,500 account. So now I have a $1,500 budget. So you have the number of positions you're in, which is for me 7. And then, so all you gotta do is I inserted this, I insert this. So for instance, if I don't have this, so I put 1,500, I put 7. And then what that does for you is it shows you how much per position to put in if you want to do 10%. And it shows you what your first buy would be if you want to do a 10% first buy. It also shows you how much cash to put on the side if you want to do 30% cash. So that's how that all works. So you just put in your budget, put in the number of positions you want to be in total. It shows you how much per position, what your 10% buy would be, and your cash on hand. This is based off a 10% per position, 20, and a 30% cash on hand plan. Then I have my watch list. So you can type in what kind of play it is, swing, day trade, whatever. You type in the stock, and then it'll bring up the price, the current price. And let's say the alert entry was 3.30. It'll show you where the stock is from the alert entry. Special thanks to Pook's Revenge, helping out with this part of the, actually most of this spreadsheet. And then you have my ideal entry, because sometimes, like I said, the whole goal of PBU is to make you your own trader. The goal is so that you can be knowing your own, and having your own entry, your own targets, doing your own trades based off of the alerts, but also based off of your own plan, your own due diligence, your own trading. That's how you end up growing as a trader and not being a follow the leader trader or a gambler. So you put my ideal entry, and as you can see, mine are different than some of the actual entries, the alert entries. This will show you the difference, like I said before, from the alert entry. So you can see if it's over or under current alert entry, if it might be still a good buy. This would be an automatic 10% target. It does it for you already. And this is my personal target is 7%, so that I did that for myself. And that does that for you already. And then you can put in manually, you can enter the targets from Penny Boys from the Discord. And then you can say who alerted. It can be Lee, myself. I have one from Pooka's Revenge that I saw. He put in updates from the guides that I put in. And some notes that, this is like what Pooka's Revenge wrote about that. And then just like notes from the Discord, or just from my, my own little notes on that play in the watch list. Down here, this is just a template. I don't personally use it. This is for if you use a drop percentage, you can just copy it and paste it anywhere that you want. All it does, so let's just say that you are using a drop percentage rate, which we went over in class number 3, which is basically a 25-25-50 rule, but instead of doing buying at supports and resistances and upward confirmation, what you're doing is you're buying every time the stock goes down a certain percent, and you can change these percentages, if you want to do like 10, 20, whatever. So let's just say you're buying 10%, 10%, 10%, 20, 50 at a 1.5 drop rate, or you can just do 2%. Let's just do 2%. You can change that. So you have your ticker. Let's just do WTRH. The current price is 347. Let's just say you're buying this. Let's say you bought in right now. Now it's telling you to buy. This is when you're going to buy. So if you're doing a drop rate at 2%, every time the stock drops 2%, you're making a buy. This is how much you're buying. This is the price. So a 10% buy would be $10 at 3.47. That's 2 shares. Then you buy 2 more shares at 3.4. You're buying 3 more shares at 3.3. 6 more shares at this price, 15 more shares at that price, and then you're in 100%. And that's when you set your stop loss, set your take profit, and you're good to go. So in theory, if you work 9 to 5, you just insert the stock in here, insert your buy-in, and then you can go into Webull and just put in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orders, and then just go to work and let it just do its own magic. Let the stock do its thing. Maybe put an alert on your phone if the stock goes up, instead of down. That way you can know, to sell or to start, putting that last buy. But in theory, sometimes the stock goes down before it goes back up. So in this case, you're getting that nice average, and then you just set, once you're in 100%, set your sell for profit or loss, stop loss or take profit, and you're good to go. So that is that. And this is just a template that I have. Boom, there you go. Then I have these are my actual plays that I'm tracking. So I put in the play that I'm in, my entry. I also have the alert entries just for comparisons, because I like to do notes post trade so I can see, oh, I got in over entry, maybe I should have waited, or I got in way under entry, that was a good job, whatever it may be. And then the same deal, it shows you where the stock is based off the alert entry. It shows you where the 10% target would be, where my 7% target would be, where the Penny Boys alert targets are as well, which you had to put in manually, and whose alert it is, which you put in manually as well, and the entry date, and then some notes on it. So that's that, and then automatically it puts in down here, it'll automatically put in the buy, like the stocks that you buy. So USEG, actually I forgot to put this one in. There we go. So what it does, so let's just say I put in a play ABC. It's going to automatically put it down here for you. So now what you do is, let's just say I bought, 12, 15, that's today. I made a 20% buy. And then let's just say, 12, well, I'm just going to write like, 12, 16, 30% buy. And this is how I track my buys, so I know how spread out my buys were. If I that's how I can see if I got in too early, did it too, made too many buys, made too little buys, and I could have adjusted. And I use all that in my post trade notes, which is here. So what it's going to look like blank, it'll just kind of look like this, or look like this without the NA. And what you do is you put in your ticker. You can say if you follow the plan or not, and then you can put the P&L for that ticker, and then the entry date, exit date, so you can see how long you're in that play. Maybe you're in too long, you're in too short. If you're you can also kind of base that off of your P&L. Like if you're in the play for really long, you made money, you're like, all right, well, patience paid off. Or maybe you're in it really short and it went down, maybe you're like, oh, I should have been a little bit more patient with my buys, I got in too early. And then you can just take notes, wasn't liking the setup, sold for 5% loss, stopped out as planned. So yes, follow the plan here. Dropped minus 20% after hour. I doubled down instead of sold, so I didn't follow the plan. And just different notes. And then each day I also track, did I follow the plan for the day? What was my portfolio percentage at the end of the day? And just some notes on the day. Like for yesterday, I busy day, didn't get to watch much. Add a few positions, built some averages, blah, 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 blah. So that's how this works, and I will drop a link to that. And next stream is going to be tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure at the time. It'll probably be around the same time, I want to say. Which tomorrow's Wednesday? Oh, no, it won't be, because tomorrow is the we have the power hour. So it might be either after power hour or right before it. But we're definitely going to be doing a stream tomorrow. Actually, I'm gonna, and that's going to be going over the last 3 quizzes, as well as we'll be going over the trading plans. Just going over some of the top trading plans. And we're also going over the quiz number 5, the top 5 answers. And those people get to drop their lowest quiz score. And I already did all that for you guys. I'll be announcing it. So that will be tomorrow. And what else? Let me just make sure. So we're going over charting. We'll be going over trading strategies. We'll be going over the trading plan. That's all tomorrow. I think that's it. I feel like I had one last thing to let you guys know. Oh, and we'll also tomorrow be going over a special new indicator, one that we did not go over in PBU. So I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but it is one that helps view different trends, maybe some support and resistance as well. But it's a really fun indicator. It's kind of advanced, but it's still definitely on the easier end to understand. So I think that you guys will end up probably using this one actually in your trading. So it'll be kind of like a preview of what the advanced classes might be. But this is kind of like in between advanced and on the easier side. But we'll get into some more details as far as the advanced classes go later on. Mr. Boosted, JWAG, Lucum Lives, Lawrence, F. Torres, JWAG, Dana, Dan C. Thank you all for joining. Those of you who are watching this not live or after the fact, thank you for joining. Make sure to subscribe to WTD Penny Boys. I'm gonna just put that right here for you. That's WTD Penny Boys. Give those videos some likes, get some subscribes going on, the whole 9 yards, and believe that's it. So congratulations to everybody who made it through PBU. We will be announcing the actual scores on Thursday's stream, and we'll be announcing who the top scorer is for the quizzes. I'm really excited for that. And so that's gonna be Thursday. Tomorrow we'll be doing another stream going over a new indicator, the rest of the quizzes, the classes, and until then, I hope that y'all make some bread. JWAG says, do you not have heating? What's with the big hat? Honestly, it's because I have a lot of hair and I just didn't feel like doing it today. It takes a while. Take care, Nick. Nick 6. Has bald in the middle. No, I'm not bald. I'm only 28. I'm not balding. I've got a lot of hair. Ponytail in the middle, no bald. Take care, Vitju. JWAG, adios. And